Right now, somewhere in your house, there is a switch. And if that switch stopped working tonight, if the power just quietly died and didn't come back, something ancient and completely involuntary would wake up inside you. Your heart rate would climb. Your hearing would sharpen. Every small sound, a creak, a settling wall, would suddenly feel like information you needed. You'd feel it in your chest before your brain even finished the thought. And here's the strange part. You're not actually in danger. There's no predator in your hallway. Nothing is hunting you, and yet your body is reacting like your life depends on the next 10 seconds. So why does this happen? Why are you, a modern human with locks on your doors and a phone full of light in your pocket, still wired to be afraid of the dark? And why, out of every species on this planet, are humans basically the only ones who feel this way? Because here's the thing people don't realize. Most animals are completely fine at night. Owls, cats, foxes, deer, they move through darkness like it's just another Tuesday. Some of them actually prefer it. Nocturnal predators do their best, under cover of night, and plenty of prey animals feel safer once the sun goes down, not less safe. Darkness, for most of the animal kingdom, is not a threat. It's just Tuesday with less light. So what makes us the exception? The answer starts with a fact most people never think about. You are, biologically speaking, a daytime animal wearing the wrong equipment for nighttime survival. Human eyes are built almost entirely around color and detail vision, the kind that only works when there's plenty of light bouncing around. Compare that to something like a cat, which has a reflective layer behind its retina that recycles light, letting it see in conditions that would leave you completely blind. We don't have that. Somewhere in our evolutionary past, we traded night vision for something else. Sharp daytime color vision, the kind useful for spotting ripe fruit, reading facial expressions, judging distance in bright light. It's a fantastic system until the sun goes down. Then, almost instantly, you become one of the most sensorially disabled animals in the entire ecosystem. And that's the part that matters. For nearly the entire span of human evolutionary history, going dark didn't just mean less light. It meant losing your best sense in an environment absolutely packed with things that wanted to kill you. Big cats, hyenas, snakes, other predators whose eyes worked just fine in the dark while yours effectively shut off. If you were an early human standing in the open savanna at night with no fire, no walls, no weapon better than a sharpened stick, darkness wasn't a mood. It was a math problem, and the math was terrifying. Every ancestor who felt nothing when the light disappeared, who wandered off calmly into the black without a second thought, tended not to survive long enough to pass that calm down to you. The ones who survived were the anxious ones. The ones whose hearts started pounding, whose senses spiked, who felt an overwhelming pull to get back to the group and stay very, very still. That anxiety wasn't a flaw. It was a filter. And you are, quite literally, descended from the mildly paranoid. Now here's where it gets interesting, because humans didn't just inherit fear of the dark. We actually engineered our way partway out of it. Roughly 1 million years ago, give or take, our ancestors did something almost no other species has ever managed. They tamed fire, and fire changed everything about the night. Suddenly you had light on demand, warmth, a way to see approaching danger before it got close enough to matter. Campfires didn't just keep people warm, they pushed back the single biggest threat multiplier our species had ever faced, which was simply not being able to see. And notice what we still do today. Around a fire, at a campsite, in candlelight, humans relax. We tell stories. We laugh. That instinct to gather around a light source at night isn't nostalgia. It's ancient risk management, dressed up as a cozy evening. But fire only solved the outdoor problem. It didn't solve the psychological one because that fear didn't stay locked to literal predators. It generalized. Somewhere along the way, your brain stopped needing an actual lion in the dark to justify the alarm. Darkness itself became the trigger, a stand-in for every unknown threat, seen or imagined. This is why children, whose brains are still calibrating what's dangerous and what isn't, are so reliably terrified of the dark, even in a locked, familiar bedroom with parents down the hall. It's also why adults, rational, educated, perfectly safe adults, still get a small jolt of unease walking down an unlit street or turning off the basement light and having to walk up the stairs just a little faster than they'd like to admit. Your amygdala, the part of your brain responsible for threat detection, doesn't check your address or your century. It just checks one thing. Can you see what's around you? And when the answer is no, it assumes the worst. Because for almost the entire history of your species, assuming the worst was the only strategy that worked. So the next time you feel that flicker of unease flipping off the lights before bed, understand what's actually happening. That isn't irrational fear. That's 100,000 years of ancestors who didn't fully trust the dark and lived because of it. quietly reminding you to be careful. You're not broken. You're just still running software built for a world with no light switches, no locks, and absolutely no mercy after sunset.